local schema. That's right, I'm going to be talking about local schema, specifically our WordPress plugin, which you can get to write your rank schema. Why is schema important? What does it do? All those little things. If you have any schema questions, just drop them below and I will answer them, okay? And we'll go over those things with you. Because I know some of you have questions, just drop them below and I will answer them. I will do my best to answer all your local schema questions. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to show you how to install it, everything. But let's go and go over it. So if you go over to rankfortress.com, show you this real quick. Go over to rankfortress.com. This is what you're going to wind up seeing. If you go over to software, go to about the second page. So you got a lot of softwares. Go to the local schema. This is for unlimited websites. You don't have to use it on one website. You can use it on hundreds or thousands of websites. Up to you. You can use it however you see fit. Okay. So once you buy it, use it across as many websites as you want. You want to buy one time, it's only $197. Want to buy it, monthly, it's $25 a month. Just be aware if you stop paying the schema tool, your license becomes invalid. You can also buy my proximity page tool, which I'll go over tomorrow here as well, and the same thing applies. So that's where you can get it. Now, how do we install it? Once you make the purchase, what you're going to do, you're going to receive a download license. If you do not get the download license, you're simply going to go to support, and I will show you how to get to support as well. You go over here, go to support. And if you don't have support login, you're going to register. Once you register, you'll create a ticket. Once you create that ticket, then we'll come in, we'll answer your questions for you, and we'll get you hooked up. Now, once you have your license, it's going to be real simple to get this rolling. But before I talk about that, I want to go over some things. So where is the data being pulled from? I have that question a lot. All right. Most of the time when you get rank math or you get some other template from some other body that might have written a template, if I pull most people's schema and I look at it, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So under the schema validator and everything, and how does it look? Because a lot of times people say, oh, I got schema installed. Well, you might have schema installed, but it's the very basic schema. It's nothing, if you will, fancy about it. Most of the time, let's say we go to our competition and we pull their schema. So let's do it real quick. We're going to go to our competition. Let's just choose, I'm going to say roofer. And I'm going to pull this guy right here. Just out of curiosity. Maybe he's got schema, maybe he doesn't. One of these guys, let me see it. Bigfoot. I know all about Bigfoot. So I'm going to put in this and I'm going to try to test it. See if they even have schema, whatever. Most of the time when you get this back, this is all they're going to have. They're going to have organization, local business, and website. That's it. When we were hand coding, and this is the reason why we came up with a plugin, when we were hand coding, we would hand code about 30 to 40 pages of schema. And you might be like, oh my God, why would you do that? Well, we're going to pull a lot more information than just this basic bullshit that most people think of as schema, which is just your organization name, phone number, your address. That's it. There's no other, if you look at the way most people's schema is when it comes to rank math and other tools, that is exactly how it looks. It looks like the very basic bullshit, right? Now, where is this information being pulled from? So if I was to go over to Wikipedia or any of these other places, there's Wikipedia, Wikidata, knowledge, and we're using the Knowledge Graph Search API from Google. There's also DBpedia. All these places, let's say Wikidata. Just for an example. So Wikidata, if you will, I'm going to show you, is a website kind of like Wikipedia, right? So Wikidata, for example, would be, show you this. You get a Wikidata, and it's kind of like Wikipedia. If you've never been to Wikipedia, I don't know how many of you have, but basically you get a Wikipedia, Wikidata, any of those, and you're going to see this information right here, where I can enter in, let's say, roofer. And it has a bunch of machine codes and data, right, about that term. You know, what is a roof? It's like most people think of roofers and they don't think of the term roof. They don't think of the term, for example, building components, architectural elements, an envelope. They don't think of images, audios. They have all these different things that are actually tied to said information. Same thing in DBpedia. DBpedia is, once again, another one that basically gives you the information that they have collected, if you will. Let me say accept all cookies, right? They collect a bunch of data and information. Okay, if I'm a roofer, I think of when I'm going to roofing, I have a nail gun, I have a different type of gun, I use different types of nails. I use a bunch of different types of things for my industry, for my entity. One of the things that you need to get very good at when you're working with Schema is entities. What is an entity? An entity is basically a group of information, if you will, that defines an industry, a niche. Like there are a bunch of different terms I think about when I'm thinking about a roofer. It's not just roofer, you know, or roofer near me, whatever, right? What you're going to do is this goes and collects all that information. So what our tool is doing is it's going to these said different sites and pulling that information. For example, and if you want to learn about Schema, you can actually go to the Schema website and you can learn all you want about it, right? I have like space in here. But basically you can go to the docs and you can learn all about the different types of schemas that there are, right? Creative works, events, health, medical, all types of different things. Organization, schema, local business schema. And it tells you all the different assets that you can actually use to pull in for your local business. So what happens is with Schema, think of it this way. If you have Schema, brand new business, and you got backlinks, got some good citations, you got some good press, got some good information out there, and I tile that information, what I'm basically doing is I'm taking a spotlight and I'm putting it on that entity, that business. And I'm saying, hey, Google, all these little dots that you see out here, that's what this is about. And it ties it all together. Okay. And then Google goes, aha, and rewards it. Now, let's say you have some garbage backlinks, you have some garbage crap out there, press releases, etc., and then you turn a spotlight on it, it's not going to help you. It's actually probably going to tank your rankings. So before doing advanced Schema with us, you want to make sure that we have all this information together. Okay. Number one, you need it. Number two, it's going to help your SEO. Number three, when you go to actually enter in your schema, you're going to have it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show you how we would do this and how hard or easy it is. Okay, so let's go over here to Rank Schema. So I've installed Rank Schema. Once I do it, I'm going to install it. I enter in my license. Okay, you got your license settings in here. You put in your license, everything. If you miss out on a payment or didn't get the monthly and you get the monthly and you miss a payment, this will be deactivated. So you want to always make sure your payments are up to date or buy the lifetime license like I've already shown you. Now, once you've got that installed, and let's say, depending on what you're running, auto body, childcare, you know, what type of business is it? Okay, let's say it's a dentist, right? What's the business name? What's the owner's name? What's your logo URL? What's your slogan? What's your description? I try to put as much as possible information in the description. Same thing with disambiguous description. All right. Same thing, you go to primary location. Okay. A lot of you guys, when you're looking at schema, you're looking at it from a very basic, point of view of, oh, I just need my business information, right? For example, so the question just came in, what's disambiguous? Disambiguous is, if you will, an interpretation of description. You got one real description, you got an interpretation. It's kind of like paraphrasing, okay? Now, let's go back to our schema here. So we need our primary location. What is your primary location? Your main location. So let's say you got a franchise, you have one main primary location. Generally speaking, I say build one website with one GMB. I don't want multiple GMBs on the website. I want mainly dealing. That does not mean it cannot be done. It does not mean you cannot be successful at doing it. It's just, generally speaking, most local businesses do not have multiple locations. If you do, then I would consult with you on it. Now, as far as your SEO, this is your Wikidata, right? You got to be able to validate it. So if I was going to validate it, you'd click on validate, and it would validate it. For, let's say in this example, I put in dentist and I hit validate. It validates it, all right? If I have a privacy policy page, I want to put that there. I want to put all my keywords here. I want all my backlinks and citations here. I'd put the backlink, space, backlink, all that shit. I want my facts page right here, right? I want all that there. I want my about us pages. You may have more than one. I would only tell you to have one. Contact pages, service area, blog post pages, all of it. You want it all in here, because then once you have it, you're going to see your schema is not going to be this basic Willy Wonka type schema. It's going to actually be some advanced shit instead of the basics, right? And that's what we want. We want something that's more advanced. And if you look at, for example, I'm going to see if I can find it. Orlando, just out of curiosity. Find it. Where are you at? There are a lot of like Mr. Rooter. A lot of these guys, they use some freaking advanced schema. It's not none of this basic shit. So let's go ahead and I'm going to test it real quick and then show it to you. A lot of these guys, they'll use Ring Math, they'll use Yoast, etc. But for example, a lot of these guys won't. They won't use the basic stuff. A lot of times, even you can say, okay, should I even use advanced schema? Well, look at your top competition, see if they're using it. And I mean, it's not going to hurt anything whatsoever to actually use advanced schema unless you haven't done the basics. So what I'm getting at is you got to do the basics. Got to have that done first. All right. Let's look at social. Okay. What's the best schema for multiple locations? I would have to see your website, and then you'd have a primary location, then you have multiple pages. All right. Bought something from you a while back. Awesome. And look at that pretty mug. I appreciate it. Whoever you are, Facebook user Mikey. How much do I charge for a new website and SEO? So, new website and SEO, if you go to my website, is going to be $350 for two. Let me go to it. 20 pages. Just go to my website and 20 pages with website, with SEO, with content, $350. That's 1 month of actual SEO. Okay. That's not some rinky dink. I'm only going to do one page SEO. It's actual SEO. So let me look at this. Just trying to find something real quick, and then I will help you guys out. So any other questions before we go? So, but this is how you would validate. If you ever want to validate someone's schema, go to validator.schema.org. Give you an example of that so you can see that. You go here and you can validate the schema. All right. So I'm going to test one more thing out and I'll show you guys this and I'll be off here. So let's see here. If you don't know how to get at the validator, you just go schema.org. Up here at the top, it says validate. And then you can validate your schema, right? Pretty simple, easy stuff to do. It's nothing crazy, but that will also show you what type of schema do you have. You know, do you got breadcrumbs? What type of schema? I've done some where you got 40 pages worth of just schema, especially disambiguous descriptions, your backlinks, your citations, your press release. You want to put all that information in there. So hope this is informative of you. If you have any other questions, just comment on the video below and I will get to them. I appreciate it, you guys. Once again, like I've shown you, you can get this from rankfortress.com where you can get it. It's the only authentic version of it. Okay. So anybody else out there saying they're selling, rank math or they're selling our stuff, which generally speaking, you're not going to get a good version of it and you're not going to get the updates, etc. But let me show you one last time where you can get this at. Go to our website, go to software, and then go over here to the second page, and that's where you can find at the bottom the advanced local schema. And on page 3, you'll find the location page plugin, which I'll be going over tomorrow as well. All right. But you can choose any one of these guys and you can look at them and say, okay, let's just look and see, who's got the best schema. Is it Drain Rooter? Is it this person right here? I mean, I'm curious. You just pull different people and look at them. Pull different people and say, I wonder if they got really good schema or not. See what type of schema they're using. What type of backlinks are they using? I want to investigate and kind of see what people are doing and then go from there. I don't want to necessarily just grab whatever. Mr. Rooter, here's another one. See what Mr. Rooter's doing. See what all these guys are doing. So they're just using an organization. And here's one for you like this, site navigation. You see this? So they got a lot of crap in here where they're actually, if you notice, they're putting the keywords are in here. Each page, right, is associated with a keyword. So this is a really good one to look at. And this is why I say, even with our rank schema, this is why I'm telling you, for example, you want to have all this information together, right? When we're going in here and we're filling out all of our information about all of our service pages, we want to add every service page, right? In each one of these service pages that we add in the URL, what's the service name, a description, and fill this out as much as possible. And you do this on every single thing. All the blogs, blog URL, who's the author, what's the genre, the date it was published, English, what's the image URL, what's the headline, what's the content. I want to put all that information in every single one of these things because I want to fill this out and max it out as much as possible and not have some basic rinky-dink ass schema. All right, guys, till next time, you be blessed and have a great day.